today as the Churchill War Rooms, is looked after by the Imperial War Museum, and Nigel Steele is an historian here.
Nigel, this is a very moving moment for me to be in the War Cabinet room. It seems that Churchill has just stepped out, he's left his cigar behind. Tell me about the planning for a Cabinet War Room before the war.
There is no real plan. Britain itself didn't really want a war in the 1930s, didn't set out for it. It doesn't sit down and build a big bunker in anticipation of there being a war. It gradually realises a war is coming and figures out what it can do. And this, which is fundamentally a fortified basement, it's not a bunker at all. It's only 10 feet underground. And so this is the best that we could come up with.
Extraordinary. I mean, for example, these great big steel beams, were they added to protect the basement?
They were. These were added to the basement.
This, I assume, is Churchill's seat. Take me around the rest of the room, please.
The room is laid out for the cabinet meeting, which took place on the 15th of October 1940. The night before, Downing Street had been damaged quite severely by 2 bombs landing very close by. And so he decides from that point on to come down here regularly. To Churchill's left is Clement Attlee, who is the leader of the Labour Party. Having created a coalition, Churchill is very keen to make sure the Labour Party is represented. On Churchill's right is the Cabinet Secretary, Sir Edward Bridges. Sitting directly in front of the Prime Minister, we see 3 chairs, laid out as if to being 3 naughty boys in front of the headmaster. And they are for the Chiefs of Staff for the Navy, the Army and the Air Force. And they debate, discuss how the operation of the war is going to be conducted. And at times it got extremely heated. And the focal point, genuine, as you say, is this wooden chair, which is the Prime Minister's chair. And what makes it so remarkable is that on each arm, there are physical marks. On the right-hand side, where he wore his signet ring, you can see where he's gouged into the arm by squeezing and knocking. And on the other side, there are other marks, which are held to be simply his fingernails, which in a way epitomizes everything about him as a wartime leader, that he had such power that he could actually inflict it upon the wooden chair.
This underground complex was an information hub, where Churchill and the Chiefs of Staff came for news on the progress of the war.